Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And now for our second segment, whereas earlier we said we'll be discussing the latest developments in the tourism sector. Indicators have shown that over the next winter season, a good amount of tourists are expected to visit the country. The Minister of Tourism announced that the number of tourists that have visited Egypt in the first 5 months of the year have totaled about 2 million people. Now we're delighted to be joined over the telephone by Ms. Nagam Mohammed Ali, the tourism expert. A very good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, madam.
Thank
First
you.
and foremost, how do you see the rate of tourism recovery, taking into consideration the increasing number of tourist arrivals in Egypt?
Well, it's good to start with the importance of, or as the President of Fattah is giving directions to provide all needed support and possible resources to ensure that the success of tourism sales and antiquities exposures and ceremonies that are taking place right now, which reveals the real image of the Egyptian state. And it's very important to mention here with that his presence always during the main events like the parade that took the pharaonic Pharaoh's golden parade that took place, affirmed his keenness on promoting tourism and antiquities in Egypt.
Yes.
Therefore, it's very important that we highlight here that we have, or Egypt has had success in taking good steps in getting back tourism to Egypt. One of the main markets that has been successfully returning to Egypt is the Russian one.
Indeed.
So all these measures, in addition to the internal measures that have been taken, like ensuring that all the infrastructure in Egypt is proper, hotels are providing and providing all tourist facilities that should streamline the convenience of all visitors. All these aspects are indicators that we should have very good season to come, especially after all tourists have been hindered and soft-footing due to the COVID-19.
Yes.
There is a lot of measures have been taken as well. A lot of steps have been taken, like opening and integrating a lot of museums, having infrastructure, having resuming flights to a lot of destinations,
Yes.
ensuring that all the tourist field is vaccinated in order to ensure the safety, health safety and measures for the visitors visiting Egypt, which ensures the confidence in Egypt in general. Returning of the Russian flights, of course, is an indicator that they trust Egypt being a country full of vaccine, and it's aiming to have the tourism revenues back to its normal measures. And
Indeed.
according to the Russian steps that has been taken, there is an expectation of revenues that would be 6 billion as per the figures given by the ministry or Ms. Gada Chalabi, which is a real important measure in the economy and in the tourism sector.
Absolutely.
So the indicators are all positive. We all work hard to
Indeed.
ensure that all these indicators are going into the right direction.
Absolutely. Let's talk a bit about some of the measures that Egypt has implemented to accelerate the rebounding process, such as, for example, the vaccination of all workers in the tourism sector in different tourism destinations. How has this also helped, attract tourists back with a sense of safety with regards to the pandemic?
Well, safety measures have been always implemented since the very beginning. We have had a very good example to the world by inviting a lot of important people like the World Travel and Tourism in the United States to attend the parade, to attend and visit the touristic destinations. And with the acceleration of tourism places, This would enhance as well, of course, next to the slide, this would enhance the number of visits to the tourist destinations and increase the volume of business, rather than when you have only Cairo as a tourist destination, but now you are having the opening of Hurghada, Sharm el-Sheikh for the Russians, Europeans, and lot of flights are flying directly, charter flights flying directly to these areas, which is a direct revenue generating to the destination and a direct increased numbers of tourism to Egypt. In addition, of course, you have a lot of sightseeing that has been added, like museums and Sharm el-Sheikh, that would enhance cultural tours for tourists who are interested or in it, so they would see or have a as well the cultural tours, which would enhance the second visit. They're having a positive visit. This would enhance their interest to visit other touristic areas for cultural.
Indeed. Right. In June 2020, Egypt joined a list of the 100 countries around the world after it received a safe travel stamp from the World Travel and Tourism Council due to its effective adoption of a wide range of hygiene and safety measures to curb the spread of the coronavirus. How is the ministry supervising the implementation of these measures, and how is this helping the sector keep its positioning in this regard?
As said earlier, Egypt has been the example in the measures since the very beginning of the pandemic by offering only hotels and travel agents who are implementing the measures a certificate that they can work and they can receive customers. Rather than that, they are not receiving the certificate, which ensures the safety of the visitor when he visits Egypt. So this is number one. In addition, we have been implementing, or Egypt has been implementing all the new measures following the WHO, the World Health Organization, and all the aspects that have been given. Starting from the vaccine, starting from the point of hygiene measures. The ministry is having a lot of visits to visit the touristic and the touristic companies and touristic places to implement the measures in order to ensure that the visitors are safe. This would range from going to gates where you are having a clean environment, where you are having alcoholic everywhere, where you have disposable clothes, disposable pens and uses of the internet instead for check-in, for example, ensuring that all the visitors are having their masks, so are the employees. So you are following this in order to ensure the health safety measures for both employees and visitors, because we are keen to have the country clean, and we are keen as well to have the visitors have safe trips and going back safely, ensuring positive feedback when they are going
Absolutely. Right. Let's talk a bit about some of the expectations. A lot of experts are optimistic that the next winter season will be a good one in Egypt with regards to tourist flow and occupancy rates. Do you share their optimism?
Absolutely. Starting by reviewing the slides from Russia, as mentioned that data from the Ministry of Tourism have mentioned that the expectation of $6 billion are expected to be achieved. There is additional flights are being added not only to Russia but other destinations. East Europeans started to come back. There is destinations that has not been permitting certain vaccines. Now they are adopting the vaccine, the Chinese vaccine, in order to receive guests or to send guests to other countries. So these are indicators that they are confident to safety in Egypt, reducing the numbers of COVID-19 in Egypt. The numbers are reduced and the vaccine customers are increased. Therefore, it's expected that we have additional positive business to Egypt, not only to Cairo, not only to Sharm and Hurghada, but to other destinations like Upper Egypt, in addition to the new destinations that have been launched recently, like having projects in Luxor, in Isna, and other destinations. All these are measures that give positive indicators that we should have good winter for the coming.
Indeed, right. Egypt, of course, is planning to capitalize on all the ongoing projects to renovate and upgrade different archaeological sites. Lots of new museums, as you said, have been inaugurated and opened. Lots of special events have been held as marketing as well. For example, the Royal Mummies Parade, etc. How do you see all these working towards, marketing tourism in Egypt and increasing the flow of tourists to the country?
Well, this is part of the marketing plan that should be enhanced all the way through. It's steps where you can give positive impact with very small indicators, with a very small marketing activity, having parades, indicator for marketing that shows very positive feedback, opening and integrating a lot of new projects attended by dignitaries and invitations that have been given for a lot of kings around the GCC to visit the new integrities and projects happening in Egypt. All these points are part of the marketing and of the initiatives that are taken before the Grand Museum. We have been hearing as well about a lot of movements of antiquities to the Grand Museum.
Yes.
All these items, all these marketing activities give a lot of indicators that we are getting ready, or we are fully ready to receive the visitors, not only the visitors, and the dignitaries, the kings, the important visitors to Egypt, in order to make the place look different. The new state of Egypt looks different. All the aspects, all the measures are indicators for positive moves for the tourism in general in Egypt.
Absolutely. And the Grand Egyptian Museum, a great attraction just around the corner as well.
Absolutely. And I am sure after the pharaonic parade that everybody has seen around the world, the ministry is planning for another parade or maybe another
ceremony.
Surprise for, of course, surprise ceremony for the whole nation that shows how great is the National Museum and how great is Egypt, not only in the old years, but also in right now and in the future.
Absolutely. You mentioned the inauguration of many new museums in different governorates. Some of the most important of them were in Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, Upper Egypt. The two cities are mainly resort cities, already visited by tourists for their beautiful beaches. What element do the museums add to these visitors' stay in these areas?
These visitors usually are coming with charter flights, which means that you are coming for a week or for 14 days to visit resorts and spend all your time in resorts.
Yes.
It does not allow you to go and spend time on the cultural tours. And it's becoming trendy these days that you are visiting mainly resorts and spending your vacation on a resort, on an open air, which goes along with the COVID measures that you should have in distance and so on. So having these museums in such areas would allow a tourist to see the culture of Egypt that he did not have the chance to see because he's on a flight restricted with a certain time, no moves around the country, and so on, no one-day trip, and so on. So this gives an indication what should you see in Egypt. And usually for the tourist places, it's not, or the perfection is that you don't see the place in one time, but you have repetitive visits to the country. This means that you are in full success. If you have a good vacation and you spend it, for example, on the beach resort, and you enjoyed it, you would look to see the city that's next to this resort within the same country. Let alone that you are having pleasures in Egypt, like the pyramids, like the museums, the pharaonic treasures, the Islamic treasures, the Coptic treasures. We have a lot of history around Egypt that are not really given the time by the coming with a charter to see it. You would give you an indication. What are you missing in Egypt, and what can you see in the next visit? So not every time that you come and spend the whole time by a resort, but you will spend some time in a cultural tour in the town, in other cities, which again a direct revenue to other cities where you would have some handicrafts to buy, some gifts to buy from Egypt, a lot of things, not only visiting the museums and the culture, but see the culture itself and how Egypt looks like.
Absolutely. Right. I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. Ms. Nagham Mohammed Ali, our tourism expert, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us this afternoon and for all your insight. And this wraps up today's edition of Cairo Local Time. We do hope you have enjoyed it. Join us again tomorrow just after 4 p.m. for another episode. Till then, my name is Angie Mehermani. Thanks for watching.